Jeremy, you were saying about Donald Trump pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement and criticising Theresa May for not signing the statement, and that Labour would do things differently in that relationship. Would you be happy to host Donald Trump in Downing Street, and how would you do the relationship differently, and what's the first issue on which you tackle him? What would you say to him?
Jeremy, you said repeatedly you don't do personal insults, you don't do personal comments. Will you make an exception this morning for Donald Trump?
What could you do as a British Prime Minister to materially change what President Trump has done?
Decision of President Trump to withdraw from the Paris Climate Change Agreement is absolutely shocking. Just think about what is happening to our planet. Think about the work that was done by many, many people over the past 40 or 50 years to get to a position where there is a global agreement that we understand we cannot go on pumping CO2 into the atmosphere and polluting our seas and rivers and our air without massive human consequences. And the Paris conference was a culmination of a number of other events, going right back to Montreal, to Kyoto, to Copenhagen. And I was talking this morning to Ed Miliband about the work he did in bringing about agreements when he was a minister in the last Labour government. And so President Trump's decision to get off the bus when every other major industrial country in the world had agreed, albeit in some cases quite reluctantly, to go along with Paris, is, I think, a very, very big shame indeed. And I suspect the reaction in the United States will not be as he expects, because an awful lot of people in the United States are also very concerned about climate change, because they too suffer drought, they too suffer flooding, they too suffer unpredictability of weather patterns and weather systems. And so I appeal to the American people, think about the consequences of the entire planet of your economy, one of the biggest in the world, probably the biggest economy in the world, and what you're doing. Would I meet and host Donald Trump in Downing Street? Yes. Would I talk to him? Yes. Would I be polite? Absolutely. Yeah. I would even offer him some Yorkshire tea. And I just do not believe you get anywhere by insulting people and shouting at them. I would try and persuade him as best I could to understand the reality that there is no hiding place from environmental disaster and climate change. You can't buy your way out of a flood or out of polluted air. It affects us all.